If you're raising a child with ADHD, you've probably felt it. Those side glances in the grocery store, the comments from relatives who think your child just needs more discipline, the well meaning but misinformed teachers who offer suggestions that you've already tried. How many of you guys tuning in to today's live can relate to any of those feelings? If you can, just go ahead and pop a me in the comments so we all know that we're not alone. Families of kids with ADHD are often misunderstood, and so are the kids themselves. And that's why ADHD Awareness Month exists. It's the beginning of October, and with it, the beginning of ADHD Awareness Month. Every year, October is a time to educate, to advocate, and to bring light to what ADHD really is and also what it isn't. Thank you for sharing a me. I know you're definitely not alone. Now, the myths that still hold families back, those deeper underlying stresses of ADHD that deserve more attention, and what you can do right now to support your child more effectively. If you don't know me, I'm Dana Kay, board certified health and nutrition practitioner, but I'm also a mum of a child with ADHD. Here is a photo of my boy. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, because the window is shining. Okay, that is Oliver. And it was his struggles that led me to the career I'm in now. And it was his struggles that led me to work with now over, at last count, I think it was like 1,600 other families of kids with ADHD, helping them find solutions just like we have found for Oliver. Now, if you're new to my community, I'm so glad that you're here. Now, we're going to start at the beginning. What is ADHD Awareness Month and why is it in October? ADHD Awareness Month is a time when families, educators, and professionals come together to shine a spotlight on one important mission: awareness of ADHD. Okay, so National ADHD Awareness Month is nationwide across the USA. It's an effort to increase understanding, to reduce stigma, and to help families get access to better support and resources. It's a time to sort of push back against all of the outdated ideas and really speak up about what ADHD really looks like in daily life. So you're probably asking, why is it in October? Now, back in the early 2000s, I want to say, October was officially designated as ADHD Awareness Month. And since then, groups like CHAD, ADDA, and the ADHD Awareness Coalition have led the charge, spreading accurate information and supporting families just like yours, just like mine. Now, you may have also seen references to ADHD Awareness Day, which can actually cause some confusion as well. While the month is full, it's recognized for awareness activities the whole month, but October 14th is often marked by some organizations as a single day of recognition, 7 days from today. However, most efforts now focus on the entire month to allow, those deeper conversations, more inclusive events, because it's really hard to hold everything in one day. To clarify, I want to say also Autism Awareness Month is recognized in April, while ADHD has its own spotlight in October. That said, there is growing awareness of how the two conditions can really overlap. So many children and adults live with both ADHD and autism, and understanding their similarities and difference is important for accurate support. Now, when most people think about ADHD, they imagine a kid sort of bouncing off the walls or not paying attention at school. But the truth is, ADHD affects way more than just focus. It also impacts sleep, mood, eating, learning, and most of all, family life. There are meltdowns over meals. There are homework battles that end in tears. There are mornings that feel like war zones, and entire households that walk on eggshells trying to avoid the next explosion. When my own son's ADHD symptoms were at their worst, we were sort of all bracing for the next meltdown all day long, and we never knew what was going to sort of set him off. We could never relax. We weren't living, and we were just surviving. Can you guys listening in today relate to that feeling? Just let me know in the comments. This was definitely a battle we felt every single day before we learnt how to naturally reduce my son's ADHD symptoms. I can see that saying my son struggles with emotional regulation, and that's usually the hardest symptom to handle. And still, the advice that we got during that time was just be more consistent, or he'll grow out of it. He's just a boy. But here's the truth: real ADHD awareness means understanding that these kids aren't choosing to misbehave. Their brains and bodies are struggling. And families like ours need real support, not just advice or not just medication. As Dr. Ross Green says, kids do well if they can. And when they can't, we need to ask why, not punish them. Now, let's talk about some of the biggest myths that I still hear all the time and what's actually true. Now, as I'm working through each of these ADHD myths, let me know in the comments if you've heard them before. Just say something like, "I've heard that one," as I'm walking through all of them. So, myth number one: ADHD is just a chemical imbalance in the brain. I hear this one all the time from people who don't believe you can really do anything except medication to help ADHD kids. The truth is that ADHD symptoms are deeply connected to what is going on in the body: gut health, chronic inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, food sensitivities. If we only focus on the brain, we're sadly missing the whole picture. Myth number two: just find the right medication and everything's going to be fine. This myth is huge. I want to know, have you heard that one before? Let me know in the comments if you have. The truth is that medication can be a helpful tool. I'm not against it in all cases, but it shouldn't be the first port of call, not when there are other alternative solutions that can sometimes help as much or more without the risks of the side effects. Medication doesn't solve the underlying imbalances that are causing, or at the very least exacerbating, ADHD symptoms. It's kind of like putting tape over a warning light. It may reduce the symptoms, it may reduce the light from the warning, but it doesn't address why those symptoms are happening in the first place. Myth number three: food doesn't really affect ADHD. I hear this one all the time, and it's so frustrating to me because the truth is that the standard American diet, what I like to call SAD diet, is packed with ingredients that spike blood sugar, fuel inflammation, and exacerbate ADHD symptoms. So many families can clean up the diet and they often see massive improvements in their children's symptoms. Now, I'd love to know from those tuning in, have you heard that one before? I've got a couple more myths and I want to share them with you now. Myth number four: picky eaters will grow out of it and you should just feed them whatever they'll eat. The truth is that picky eating is often a symptom of gut inflammation, or zinc deficiency, or sensory overwhelm, or something deeper going on in the body. Support the body, and we have seen it over and over and over again that the palate often opens up. Myth number five is that behavioral charts and therapy are the best non-medication tools. Now, I'm not against these things at all. They can be very, very beneficial. But the truth is that therapy can help. But if the body is inflamed, if it's on fire, if it's stress, if it's nutrient deficient, behavior strategies won't stick. We have to support the body first, and then these other strategies will be much more effective. Now, those five myths are common ones that I hear all the time, but sadly, there are way more, many, many more than five. I go into more depth on these myths and others in episode 129 of the Soaring Child podcast. Definitely be sure to check it out. If you want a deeper dive, just comment podcast right now on this live in the comment or on the replay, and I can send you a private message with the link to listen. Now, again, it's episode 129, so you know which episode to tune into. Now, I want to dive even deeper because awareness is great, but it's not enough to give families who are struggling day in and day out the help. We need to actually take action as well, give them real support. And that starts with understanding that ADHD isn't just a brain disorder, it's a whole body issue. Okay. When the nervous system is dysregulated, when gut health is poor, when nutrient deficiencies are present, when sleep is broken and stress is high, the brain simply can't function at its best. I mean, we couldn't either. And that's why the approach that I take in the families that I work with in my business, ADHD Thrive Institute, we don't just manage symptoms. We don't just put a band-aid on symptoms. We support the entire system, the entire body. And that means looking at diet, reducing some of those inflammatory fuels and fueling the brain with nutrients. It means functional lab testing and targeted supplementation. Really identify what's going on inside that kid's body, identifying, those imbalances, supporting them with clean, targeted tools. And it means prioritizing deep, consistent rest to really regulate mood and energy. And it means focusing on nervous system regulation, using simple things like movement, breath, sensory tools to calm the chaos. And it means offering ADHD specific parenting support. We have a resident child and family therapist as a part of our program because you and I both know that traditional parenting strategies don't work with ADHD kids. I can tell you, I spent so much money on those positive parenting courses out there, but really it takes a specific process or approach when you're dealing with kids neurodiverse. Now, we need to ditch the traditional methods and we need to really lean into that, connection-based parenting strategies that actually work. This is the layered body first approach that really, really helps our kids thrive. What is functional lab testing? Really good question, Jess. Functional lab testing, we do a number of them. It may be urine, it may be stool, it may be a finger prick. It actually looks at and identifies underlying biological reasons that are exacerbating your child's ADHD symptoms. I've done a load of functional lab testing videos on YouTube. You can check out my YouTube channel, ADHD Thrive Institute. Also on the Soaring Child podcast, I've got a lot of episodes on functional lab testing. If you drop the word podcast, which I think you have, it'll send you the link to the podcast and you can take a look around and see what resonates. But it's really going to identify for that child what is exacerbating their symptoms, really focusing on that body first approach. We can really help our children reduce ADHD symptoms naturally. It's also what I teach inside my free masterclass. And if you haven't watched that yet, you can actually just comment training, TRAINING, right on this live or in the comments of the replay. And I'll send you a private message with the link to listen to that training. And it will give you specific strategies. It'll talk about the lab testing and those strategies that you can start implementing today to really start seeing improvements in your child fast. Now, as we close out this training, I want to give you a few action steps, okay? You can choose one or more of these steps to do this month during ADHD Awareness Month, really to help people understand ADHD better and support those who have the diagnosis in ways that actually work. So option one, share your story. You never know who you'll help just by sharing your story and how ADHD has affected you personally. Option two, speak up, whether it's about food policies at school or access to better resources. Option three, support organizations that are making a difference. Option four, try one new natural strategy. Okay, even a small shift can create big results. So you can watch my Reduce ADHD Symptoms Naturally masterclass, drop the word training, and then implement one of those strategies, just one that I share in that. Option five, educate others with compassion. You don't need to convince everyone, but you can plant a seed and you never know how that might grow. And finally, option six, above all, give yourself credit you're doing the hard work, you're learning, you're showing up for your child, and that is all that matters. ADHD Awareness Month isn't just about understanding ADHD, though that's also super important. It's about believing that things can get better, and they can. Okay, look, my son Oliver. Sorry, the light's upside down. Here we go. Oh, there we go. My son Oliver. Sorry, the window is got all the light. He is almost 16. He's about to get his driver's license. He hasn't been on meds for years. He was on 3, and the doctor wanted him on 4 when he was 5 years old. He's thriving in high school, completely med-free and using all natural strategies to help him thrive at home, at school, and in his friendships. And it's possible for you too. So, guys, hope this live has been helpful. Watch my training by commenting training. Reach out for any support. And if you found it helpful, send me a PM. Let me know. I always love hearing from my community and love creating training that is really going to help and support you. I'm here to help you as you support your child with ADHD. And I know that you've got this. And that's it for today. Bye for now. Take care.